Why are you smiling like that, Cameron? All right, welcome back, my friend. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm your host, Ken Jones. Welcome to another episode of the Disney Movie Review. Talk about Disney, Pixar, Marvel, Lucasfilm, Fox movies, Disney content, Disney World, all of that stuff. Joined by the woman who is straight off of her certification as a Disney travel agent.
Research.
Miss Kristen DiBiase.
Hello, hello.
And he's never on time, always late, my brother Cameron Jones.
Thanks.
Okay. I'm just Cameron, I can only go with what I'm working with. Like we could literally have started this right on time. But I'm just gonna call you the reason we can't do live shows. Like we could do a live show. We could do a live show, but some of our hosts wouldn't be on time. So that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
One of these days we'll might schedule that. All right. Well, let's get right into it. We missed last week because there wasn't a whole lot to talk about, to be honest. But there is more stuff to talk about now. So we're going to talk about it. And we're going to start with the D23 of the East Coast, Destination Disney.
Destination.
Yes. So let's go over some of the exciting things that were coming out as told by D23, the official Disney fan club. You have something to say?
Can I read?
Yeah. Oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
Because I just want to read it
please.
as.
Yes.
Oh, come on.
Are you ready? Yeah. See, he's not ready to read it. See, this is the problem.
I was ready, and then my computer started acting up.
This is exactly like the viewer, the listener. They are able to see exactly what I'm talking about. Like he says, "I'm ready."
Don't like
and
you right now.
He is not ready.
While he's getting ready, I can say literally just yesterday they charged me my annual renewal for D23 Gold.
Well, there you go. Like, yeah. I should probably be back in D23. I left because I got jaded.
I was trying to read what Ed wrote, because basically what they told us.
No, I'm going to read what. See, great minds think alike. The only problem is, I have it like ready on my phone. Like that's the difference.
That's great. That's great
like,
for you.
I'm just saying.
That's great for you. That's great for you. That's great for you.
I appreciate it.
That's great for you.
Thank you for saying.
That's great for you.
Thank you. Yep.
That's great for you.
See, this is what it's like to have.
That's
in case
great
you didn't
for
have
you.
siblings, that's what it's like to have siblings. All right, but let's go through this.
My
Let's go through
brother
this.
and I are not like that with each other.
Just to reiterate, that's not the way my brother and I are. So, just putting that out there. There may be some dysfunction
I think it's just you,
in your
Ken.
relationship.
Well,
all
you
right.
know what? We're opposite gender siblings, and I'm older.
Okay, so you're the Cameron in the relationship. That's what I'm understanding. Okay. All right, but let's go through some of the things that were announced at this celebration. So one of the things is the new Zootopia show will be at the Tree of Life Theater in Disneyland or in California Adventure. That's going to replace the Stuff to Be a Bug. New Pirates of the Caribbean themed lounge. That's going to be coming to Magic Kingdom. We also
Get
have
yourself a little
new
drank.
Yeah, we have a new Country Bear Jamboree, which is long overdue for being replaced. If you have not seen
And a
that
new
show
name.
in a long time, that coming
New
in
name
that's coming in
for-
2024.
New name
nothing to
for
be sad about. We'll
liverless.
get there.
Boo.
New World Jump vehicle. This is one that was really confusing to me. I don't understand what this is. It's a World Jump vehicle coming to the Avengers campus in California. I really don't get it. It's going to incorporate the mightiest aspects of the Marvel Universe, such as the elements of Tony Stark's time suits, Zendarian jump points, Wakandan technology, etc. More details in the future. Test Track is again being reimagined, and so we'll see what they do the third time around for that ride. Dinoland USA is kind of being reimagined into tropical Americas, kind of going to be more like an Encanto sort of land, taken away from the dinosaur ride. I really hope they keep the dinosaur ride. I really like that ride, but because I'm actually ready with, certain things. Okay, I'm just gonna say that I like that ride, but because I'm ready with things.
I love that ride.
Ed actually
but
said.
I don't think they're gonna keep it.
Hold on. But Ed said, and Ed's out. I don't know if I mentioned this. Ed is out for a back injury, so hopefully you took him off your fantasy roster and put Kristen in. Kristen was a game time decision, but came in. Ed said, "So do I understand correctly?"
you're paying out big.
He said, "So do I understand correctly that the big news coming out of Destination D was that someday they plan on doing some stuff?" Wow, way to put it right out there.
Hold on, didn't hear you. What'd you say?
Okay, yeah.
Oh,
we
you lost
are
me?
on our end. I think you are. Your fidelity is much lower than Cameron's on your film, like your view, and you're getting that pause where it's like.
See, it's good to have Kristen here. Like, it's good to have somebody who will let me know things. And if you didn't listen to last week's show, Cameron only said it because he heard you say it, Kristen. Like, last week, I was trying to make a point
he was
with
opening
audio.
His mouth before I was.
It
I
was
just feel like
very
I'm always
important.
like
You could
sticking
not
up for Cameron.
You could not get the point without the right audio, and Cameron and Ed, I might add, both failed ridiculously in letting me know that they could not hear things. And so, yeah. Thank you for letting me know that, Kristen. I appreciate it. I'm going to read it one more time for the people in the back. Ed said, "So do I understand correctly that the big news coming out of Destination D was that someday they plan on doing some stuff?"
Oh, no.
Wow, wait,
Way
just
to put
did
it
it
right
again.
out there. It did again?
Totally
It did it
did.
again? Oh. Well, yeah.
Yes.
Well, yeah,
Apparently, it doesn't want you to recite what Ed said.
It doesn't. It doesn't. And Cameron's not ready, so Kristen, you're our only hope. But I think it's actually the way I'm holding
Cameron,
my phone.
do you have that? I've got it. It's,
Okay, now I have it.
Yeah, I want Kristen to read it.
All
I
right.
want Kristen to read it.
Okay.
Oh,
I'm
what's
sure you
Cameron
do.
doing?
Nope.
He was looking.
Nope, it's okay.
Really?
Yep, go ahead, Kristen.
Yeah.
Oh,
Go,
this
Kristen.
is so sad. Okay, so we've been recording for how many minutes now? And 80% has been just the pair of you. Okay.
It's been 8
so
minutes.
Ed said,
8 minutes.
So, do I understand correctly that the big news coming out of Destination D was that someday they plan on doing some stuff? Wow. Way to put it right out there.
See, Kristen got it done. Yeah, so based on this, the only thing that I could find a date for, actually there's two things. One is Country Bear Jamboree, and the other...
But that was just 2024. Did they say early?
Yeah. I don't
Yeah,
think they...
that's not a date. That's
a
just
new act in
time
2024. That's 2024. That's 12 months.
They said
That's 12 months. Within
coming
12
in 2024. When?
Look,
In 2024?
out of everything you heard, one of those things is supposed to be done in 2024. That's what we know. So, Cameron, you know what? I'll start with you because you're so perfect. Tell me, what are you most excited about? What are you most disappointed with?
What am I most excited about? I would have to say, I don't know if there's a whole lot that I'm super excited about. Because it's not, okay, you gotta think, when it was D23, like regular D23, they said, oh, we're gonna be doing this thing excuse me, beyond Big Thunder Mountain, and we're gonna do Encanto, and we're gonna do this, and we're gonna do this. And then they're like, maybe we're gonna do that. Maybe it's a possibility. We're really heavily, strongly considering it. And then you get to Destination D23, and they're like, guess what? Encanto in Magic Kingdom? Nope, we moved it. Now Encanto's gonna be in Animal Kingdom. All right, we're gonna put Encanto in Animal Kingdom. And the Zootopia, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. We're gonna put it in Bug's Life. We're just gonna put it right in there with Bug's Life. And it's like, if you know what you're doing, then go ahead and say, hey, this is what we're doing, get excited. Not, hey, we might be doing this, just kidding, we changed our mind, we're gonna be doing this, because by next year, with D23, it's probably gonna be another, hey, you remember when we told you this, and then we changed it to this? Well, guess what? Okay, now, finally, we can announce we're doing this, this, and this. And that is absolutely not the way to go about things. Like,
But out of everything, you're
I
not
don't
excited about
like
anything?
I'm glad that they have a meet and greet with Figment. Something concrete that we can hold on to. But really, everything else was just so vague that it's hard to get excited about. Hey, a new attraction is coming to Avengers Campus with this technology and Tony Stark and Wakandan technology, and it's gonna be cool. Okay. Yeah. All right, sure. Hey, we're gonna take Test Track and redo it, like, think about how we had it, but better, but not how we have it now, but how we had it, but better. Yeah? Yeah?
I don't disagree
Like,
with you on that.
those are the way.
But go ahead.
That's how they did everything. So
Yeah.
it was like, how am I supposed to get excited about it? Because if I was excited about D23 and then I watched Destination D23, like, y'all changed from what you said that you were doing before, and you didn't even really say before that you were doing it. You were just like, hey, we might, maybe, could possibly do this. And then you said, hey, remember how we said we might, maybe, could possibly? Well, maybe, possibly could do. We took out the might, maybe. And so I think I was listening to she's a former Imagineer, and she's like, I don't think people realize the amount of Imagineers that were let go from the company. And so Disney was already slow as molasses at getting stuff out. With the amount of Imagineers that they cut, she said that it was like easily 5 years before they could open up something like new. And so I get it, but don't dampen expectations before you have these things. Like, don't have people going in with hopes of hearing brand new this is coming, da 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 da. Just be like, hey, we're so excited. We got some meet and greets to announce with y'all, and have some fun with the Muppets just here in this space, not making any other Muppet announcements, just Muppets.
I want to hear
singing.
from Kristen, because
It was
Kristen
so Muppet heavy.
Kristen hasn't had a chance. So Kristen, go ahead. Let's hear what you have to say.
So, anybody who knows Disney knows they're slow. And I don't know why we keep getting mad about, like, the timelines on things, aside from the fact that we're always mad about the timelines because they're so slow. They need to figure something out with their timelines. I'm not gonna lie. I agree on that. Because Universal is building, like, an entire park. And they already opened up another whole new ride in the space and time where, like, we've gotten, nothing, honestly. But having said all of those things, if I'm looking at it from, like, another direction, what I see is they are in a weird spot right now. People are saying that they're not doing well, even though, how we talked about before, in reality they're actually doing fine, but capitalism. So but they did just come off of like the entire like Chapek thing, and that did a lot of brand damage, right? So perhaps they are moving with more deliberate care and slowness, and last year's Blue Sky, like they told us it was Blue Sky. I feel like they told us all of this stuff last year to get an idea of like, so what of these things do people actually like? Like, what do people then get excited and start? Because obviously we're all going to be talking about it, right? We all talked about it last year. What were the things that everybody talked about last year after they made the announcement? And what, because it's free feedback for them, right? They don't have to pay to focus group or whatever. They don't have as many Imagineers as Cameron has pointed out. So they kind of can't get this wrong if you know what I mean? Like, and by they can't get it wrong, I don't mean that they can't screw it up, because they absolutely can screw it up. They can't afford to screw it up. So they are being super extra careful to figure out what we as the consumers, the people who are Disney diehards, what we actually would be excited about doing. And that's what they're actually using us in real time for feedback. That's what I think is happening here. Because how long have people been saying you need to upgrade or do something with the Country Bears, right? So they're like, well, that's a low-hanging fruit. We can finally like get going on, which let me please say, as a diehard old school Country Bears fan, I was not one of the people who was saying that they should update the Country Bears. I like the idea. I understand that other people want it to be updated, and I would rather it be updated than to go away entirely, because I love the Country Bears. But I'm sad because my favorite song in there is "Every Man Who Turns Me On Turns Me Down." And we're not going to hear that anymore after this. That's actually coming, though. Even if they didn't give an actual date, they've already started their recording for the music, and they showed a vignette of them recording the music. So that's actually happening.
They're not
the
changing
rest of the
it.
Stuff,
Go ahead.
I mean, the some of the stuff still sounds very Blue Sky-ish, but it sounds like they have narrowed down on some stuff. So the whole thing with them, like, I feel like they heard people like Zootopia, but a lot of people don't like Zootopia in Animal Kingdom because they think it goes against the idea of Animal Kingdom. So that's kind of maybe why they did what they did there. They're like, oh, wait, no, we can't put Zootopia there. People are going to complain and be mad about that. So I feel like they're actually listening to us all of a sudden, but we are us, so we hate everything they do. It doesn't really matter.
Okay. Look, I'm going to be the optimist in this whole thing, and I'm going to say I actually am very excited about if the things that could potentially come to fruition. Like if the Encanto, land comes to fruition, they're not going to keep the dinosaur ride, but if they don't keep the dinosaur ride, I hope they just don't reskin it. I hope they completely gut it, do something different with it. Maybe it's something with the doors. I know they're gonna reskin it, but I really hope if you're listening, Disney, Bob, please just do not reskin that ride. Just totally let them have some Blue Sky stuff. Not
our Dino.
I love Dino. Like I like the
I do
idea
too.
of.
I love it. I love it so much. I'm gonna be so sad.
A Pirates of the Caribbean place, right? If there is a place where they're drowning somebody when you walk in the door, and they're like, "Don't tell them, Carlos." Like, isn't that what we all want when we walk into Disney? Like, that could be like the Mater D station, right? Like, you walk in, they're like, "Do you have a reservation?" And like, I'm just saying. All of that sounds really cool to me. It sounds really cool. The thing I'm most disappointed about is the thing that y'all are both touching on, which is this idea of they released too much too soon. I've seen Disney make this mistake time and time again. They release blue sky ideas and they end up disappointing the fans. I know it's like a free, I completely agree with you, Kristen. It is a free focus group and all of that stuff, but basically what you put in the minds of the fans is that you're unreliable. And when you take as long as Disney takes to do things, it puts into this, it puts into your mind exactly what Ed said. Like, hey, you're gonna do some stuff when y'all know I love talking about Dollywood. I went to Dollywood in 2022, 2021, sometime. At some time I went to Dollywood, and they were like, we're building a new hotel and we're building a new part of the park. It's like, cool. 4 years, we'll be back. There'll be a new hotel, new part of the park. Awesome. That fall, the next year, in the fall, I got an email. Hey, our new hotel's open. Our new part of the park is open. I was like, what do you mean? Like, is that even safe? Like,
the problem that Disney has is at D23, I remember people were kind of confused, and I forgot who said it. It may have been, I don't think it was Josh DeMaro, but somebody was like, hey guys, you know, this isn't just blue sky stuff. Like, this is real legit, like, and I'm like, if it was real legit, you would say, hey, this is what we're doing, and here's more concept stuff about it. I think the other bad thing for Disney is the international parks, because the stuff that the international parks are doing and the way that they, like, Shanghai has already had like 2 expansions, like, and Shanghai opened in 2016.
Yeah.
And so here you have, hey, yeah, this is Disney too. I mean, deep Disney people know that it's licensed and whatever, but they're doing Disney better than Disney does Disney. And so now you have this thing of like, hey, I see them. You're talking about, oh, Frozen is opening over here. Oh, this Peter Pan land and da-da-da-da. Oh, you're opening Zootopia thing over here. Oh, you did this over here. Oh, that's cool. I probably will never go there. But yeah.
Right.
Cool, thank you for doing all that stuff over there. And so they're like,
Cameron.
What? Well, and it's like they're putting all of this stuff out there, and I saw the videos with Josh tomorrow and like, oh, look at this Coco restaurant that we're doing and all this stuff, and I was like, where is, oh, international. And so they're thinking of like, oh, look, we're doing all this stuff, and it's like, no, you're not.
Yeah.
What is it, the Oriental Land Company, like they are doing a lot. Good for them.
In Tokyo, anyway. Yeah.
So,
yeah, I mean, at the one hand, I kind of feel for Disney. I feel like they need to get stuff out there because their competition is becoming so increasing. Like, and again, it's not just Universal. I was talking with one of my friends, and he took his daughter to Disney last year, and it was a daddy-daughter thing and all this stuff. And he asked me this year, he was like, okay, well, you know, the wife gave me a couple $1,000 that I can spend and take the daughter on a daddy-daughter thing. I'm not going back to Disney. Like, I'm going to go somewhere else. We're going to go, you know, all this stuff. He's like, he asked me, he lives in D.C., and he was like, hey, I live in North Carolina. Is there anything near you where I could go and just spend some money, spend some time, and all that stuff? I, of course, recommended the Outer Banks. That is North Carolina's one of our things is the Outer Banks. So, but yeah, like, it's Disney is losing the competition, and you can see it in the park numbers. Don't take it from me. Take it from the numbers that they're seeing in the parks. And I'm just going to be very interested to see how this next quarter for Disney goes. That's this
my
Christmas, this Thanksgiving. That is going to tell us how Disney is doing,
discounts,
how the parks are doing, and what people think about it. Really,
that's what I was thinking. Jason
discounts
told me.
For the Christmas.
And they were advertising them hard during the football games. That's what
like,
Jason.
wow.
Discounts during Christmas?
Yeah.
Wow. In case you're new to this whole Disney thing, Disney closes its parks reliably during one day of the year. You know it's going to happen. You can set your watch by it, and that is Christmas Day. Disney is at its busiest during 1 week of the year, and that is the week between Christmas and New Year's. If you ever want to actually go to Disney, I've always told everybody I made the mistake once of being in Disney World at Christmas, and that will never happen again. So,
guess who's doing it this year? We were like, we're gonna try it. We're gonna try it just one time at least and see. We gotta do it. We're trying to make some new holiday tradition.
Not, absolutely not. So if they're discounting Christmas, things are bad. Things are worse than
and maybe we'll have a great
time.
Well,
Kristen, like,
and
for real, I really want you to like take some video or something like that for Christmas, because I really want to see what it was like. That's when they closed. They literally closed Magic Kingdom, and I think they got cocky because remember back in spring, they were closing parks and they were like, "We're at capacity. Look at us. We're doing so well." That's what happens when you gut people.
And I think one of the other things to look at is it that they're not doing well? Because there's some people who go and they're like, there's still a lot of people here. And then you see all the discounts and stuff that they offer, and so you're like, okay, what is it? Like, is there a number that they're trying to reach that they just can't reach it? Or, like, what is going on?
Yeah, it's weird. Yeah.
Well, when I was there, February. When I was there in February, touring plans said it was a 6 on both days, and it did not feel like a 6. It didn't feel like more. Feel like? Is what I'm saying. It felt like a 4, 5 maybe.
Wow.
But it didn't feel like a 6 certainly. So that is really deep down the rabbit hole. So I'm going to close off that one. Let's move on to the next thing that I am prepared for, because I'm not Cameron, which is, man, I'm gonna stop teasing him one day. Like one day I'm just gonna be like, you're my brother.
It's going to be on a deathbed.
Literally. And not the new figuratively, literally. No, literally.
Literally.
You were always my guy. All right, well, let's talk about this one, because this is another interesting thing, especially given the writer's strike and everything like that. So Marvel VFX workers, of course this ad pops up as soon as I show this. Marvel's VFX workers unanimously voted to unionize. So they are unionized with the International Alliance of Theatrical Stage Employees, which is interesting. But anyways, it was a unanimous vote. Started on September 12th. All of the votes were in favor for the union. In a statement, they said, today, VFX workers at Marvel Studios spoke with a unanimous collective voice demanding fair pay for the hours they work, healthcare, a safe and sustainable working environment, and respect for the work they do. Mark Patch, that's the organizer, that's what he said. There could be no stronger statement highlighting the overwhelming need for us to continue our work and bring union protections and standards to all VFX workers across the industry. And there could be no stronger example of the courage and solidarity of these workers than each and every one of them declaring union yes. All right, Kristen, let's start with you. Bad for Marvel, good for Marvel, and does a complete unanimous vote for a union mean that Marvel was significantly treating their employees bad, or does it mean something else?
Jeez. I mean, I don't actually know. Right. Yeah. it's there's overall, you know what? I'm gonna just not answer any question you just asked me. Because I honestly, like, I have no idea. I think just generally speaking, of course, bad for Marvel because capitalism, any place, if they can have the opportunity to not do something that they should do unless they're forced to do it, they're not going to do it. So just by default, just because of the way that things run, people always want to pay other people less. So that's just a net. Yeah, that is. I guess it's bad for Marvel because they're going to have to pay people more, and they're going to have to spend more money. If it's about pay and benefits, that's what's going to happen. The other two questions, I have no idea how to answer. The thing that I will say is that it seems like unionizing is coming back as a thing overall, and I'm here for it. Going completely out of the realm of what we generally comment on, but the UAW, they just did an historic, first time ever, multilateral, 3 big automaker strike. They walked
United
out
Auto
of
Workers, by the way,
an
UAW.
individual. Yes, thank you. Yeah, they just walked out of 3 major plants, one for each of the different automakers, and the automakers are hurting. They are doing a very deliberately slow and calculated up-ratcheting process here. And this is just the opening salvo. Again, I'm here for it. If people wouldn't do these things if you paid them a fair wage, if you treated them like human beings, if we valued people over profits. Unions aren't necessary when unions aren't necessary. But the fact that people are doing them means that they're necessary. So all union all day long, like, power to the people. Like, you're never going to get me to say anything otherwise.
Cameron, you look like you have a lot to say.
No, I'll just talk your stuff, Kristen. Talk your stuff. No, I think it is being seen that the power of the people together is always going to be stronger. And I think definitely, especially in this time where people see America as divided and stuff, like, and it really is, like, again, outside of the realm of what we usually talk about, but whenever you can really talk, whenever you can really, hey, you may think this, I may think that, but if we come together and we can, like, unite against this person that's telling us, oh no, it's this person that's the enemy, because those who have, that's what they always do. Like, it's not something new. Like with the Hutus and the Tutsis, that whole genocide was because the people that were in power were like, oh no, it's them, those people. You got to watch out for those people. And it's like, no, you are the one I need to watch out for.
Y'all ever heard that statement?
The oldest playbook.
The statement, they got us fighting a culture war because they don't want us to fight a class war.
Ooh,
I like it.
Y'all ever heard
power
that?
Is all about power and entrenching power.
Like,
No, I've never heard that, but, like, I like it. I'm gonna use it.
Because that, I mean, I would like to think, I'm at this crossroads when I think about this unanimous vote, because I would like to think that Marvel treats its employees well, that Marvel is really, like, working, you know, they're a difference in the industry and all of this stuff, and all of these things. And right now, if you're watching this, you can see all of the visual effects stuff that is going into these Marvel movies. You know, this is, you know, showing all of the things, all of the ways that they're, like, you know, doing all of these Avengers movies and things like that. But, like, are these people seeing their families? Like, is this something where people are going home and seeing their families and they're proud to work at Marvel and all of that stuff? Are these things like right now? We're watching, Black Widow go through a lot of different places, pick up, Captain America's shield. We're watching Wanda float plates and WandaVision and all of these different things. These are all visual effects. These are all things that people have put together, and they are the reason that we go see Marvel things. They are the reason that we're here. The Thanos walking through portals and all of this stuff. That that is just it's all visual effects. It's all visual effects. All the stuff that it brings you and everything like that. So, I'd like to think that the unanimous vote is just people standing together, and maybe even people who may not necessarily feel like they're being mistreated are also just pro-union. For example, I'm a very pro-union person because, again, the way I see most companies acting, and not for nothing, I'm the youngest person in this group. I've had 15 different jobs since I've graduated from college. So I've seen a thing or two. I know a thing or two because I've seen a thing or two. And there are probably 2 companies in that whole 15 job span that I would recommend for people to work at. And so there is a problem when it comes to companies these days.
And one of them is where it currently is.
Yes, I would recommend where I currently work, and
I wasn't trying to save your job or anything. I was trying to underscore the fact of, and he only just got a second one.
Right.
Yes.
Exactly. It's number 15, which is the one that you lay me off, I don't care. I'm still coming to work because I'm not you're gonna drag me out of the building clawing, right? This is a good place to work, and I'm not losing this one.
What is this, Office Space?
Just saying.
Where's your stapler?
Exactly.
Oh man. But yeah, I think there's a lot of truth to the statement that they got us fighting a culture war so that we won't fight a class war. Because if I'm all concerned about who you love, and I'm concerned about where you're getting in library, and I'm concerned about all these things, then you don't have to worry about this. Don't worry about the man behind the curtain. Don't worry about Bob Iger making millions and millions and millions. No. We can't afford this stuff. We can't. They picked a bad time to do this protest. We can't afford all these things that the writers are asking for. They're not being realistic. Because when it starts to become a class war, all of a sudden, it's a unanimous vote, right? It's a unanimous vote. So, I'm excited to see where this goes. I'm excited to see how United Auto Workers, UPS, the work, at SAG.
Bravo,
AFTRA.
UPS.
Okay, just the stuff that the people who are trying to stymie the unionizing folks are doing is gross. The way that the opposition is characterizing UPS workers who are trying to strike right now, trying to make it seem like, oh, you make so much money, why do you need to strike? Friends, for them to get that number, I watched a video that was talking about this. For them to get to that $140,000 or something like that, they basically have to be doing Amazon employee level round the clock working. It's you can make $140K a year, but only if you are a person who gets definitely always 40 hours a week, and you're working overtime, and most of them aren't getting 40 hours a week. They're all getting less than 40 hours a week. So it's if one guy out there maybe a handful of people are actually getting that kind of money, but they're killing themselves to do it.
Look, if you
But that's that other piece, you know?
it, off
Temporary
on my
embarrassed millionaires.
I have a tangent on UPS, and I'll just let you know just a little bit of it. If you sit at work, like if you go to work and you sit, you cannot talk about this you cannot talk about what UPS workers get paid at all. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear anything. If you stand at work, I'll allow you to comment on it, right? You can comment on it and say something, but you have to realize that I've never done the work. I've never been a UPS driver. I've never done like all of this stuff. But I got a package delivered today, and I was just like, thank you. Like, thank you not just for the package that you bring, but literally for the work that you are doing. Because you want to talk about essential work. You want to talk about the stuff that people need and the stuff people need. Take it beyond what people want. But like the things that people legit need that you don't even have to leave your house for anymore today.
Well,
Yay,
you know,
shout out to my sister-in-law's brother who works for UPS and does an amazing job.
my daughter's medication comes. My daughter, she needs medication every week, and because of the way insurance works, and because of the way the medication is, honestly, we have to basically wait on it every delivery. Wait on it, and when we have a bad delivery, when we have someone who delivers it to a different address or all this stuff, we're at the mercy of our neighbors. Like, hey, did anybody get a package today? This has to be chilled. It needs to be in the refrigerator today. Did anybody get a package? Did anybody get a package? I don't want, if you are inside an air-conditioned environment and you sit at work and all of this stuff, I don't want to hear jack squat about what the UPS drivers get paid. In my opinion, they're still underpaid. Okay, go ahead, Cameron.
That and the UPS drivers go through a lot more than people realize. Like, there are certain things that can be shipped that you cannot just drop off at a UPS store. However, if you find a UPS driver on their route, they are certified and have the whatever in order to get a in order to take that package that has dangerous material or whatever. So it's not just like, oh, I drive around and I deliver packages. Like, no, I need to know how to handle such and such material and all this stuff. So, yeah.
Yeah, so that's just part. If you thought that was a long tangent, you should come over and we could talk about UPS. We're going to talk about UPS drivers. All right, we'll talk about it. Okay, Kristen, now is your time.
Oh,
because
no.
I want you to take me. By the way, we kind of plan out what we're going to talk about on these shows. We don't have a script or anything, but we kind of plan out that we're going to make fun of Cameron. We're going to talk about some Disney stuff. You know, that's the general plan.
That's
Ken's general
plan.
He
That's
plans
a standing agenda item.
that. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like if he has like some kind of notepad or whatever, it says item A, make fun of Cameron. It's on there. Yeah. It's just always there. Like, he always starts with number 2 when he's like coming up with an agenda, because number 1 is Cameron.
That's all.
Kristen, while we were talking, Kristen brought up her computer that she's addicted to so that she could play her game, and started showing me this said game, and I was just like, we need to put this. I know it's probably bad podcast radio. It's probably not great radio, but if you watch the YouTube channel, which my wife says is hard to find, and I'm sure it probably is, and I don't know. There's nothing I can do about that. Sorry. But hey, subscribe. There you go. That's why people say subscribe. There you go.
Yeah. You have to subscribe.
But all right, take it away. Tell us about your game, Kristen.
Oh man! So I was starting when I got up here to tell Ken about it, and then he's like, "Oh wait, hold on. Like I'm gonna put it on here." I'm like, "Okay." So number 1, I am not very good, because I'm not really a gamer really. and I'm also very far behind other people who actually play this game. So I will just kind of preface everything with saying that, and we're gonna hope that they don't play. Well, I'm out in the world right now, so that should be okay.
And this game is
They
Disney
have a
Dreamlight
whole
Valley, is
like,
it?
yeah. So this is Disney Dreamlight Valley, which I am currently obsessed with. It is not yet free to play. It's still in like the Founders editions, which means you gotta buy the game. My husband was playing this, and I was like, oh, "What is that?" And so then I got like obsessed, and I had to get it myself. I'm not a gamer, really. I don't really play games much. I like watching my husband play games, but this has all of the pieces of things in random games that I actually do like. It's like they just took all of the things I like in individual games and put them all together in like one game. So like you see I have like this little shovel. Oh, let me turn around.
This is
It's
Kristen,
me.
by the way.
Yeah, this is my avatar, who I have dressed in winter gear because I'm playing in a little blizzard like area right now, and that's a little fox that I just fed earlier. So there's all of these different animals and all of this different stuff. I can't even explain in detail how this game works. There are entire people's channels that are just nothing but Dreamlight Valley. Like that's all they do is they play this game, and their whole channel is just gameplay and strategies, and there are people
Is
that
it a
have
game
already
that you
beaten
can
the
win
game.
at?
No, it's a cozy game. A cozy game is apparently like just like a game that you just play because it's fun and you like it and it makes you feel good. You can beat the game, but by beating the game in a cozy game, it's basically you come through the end of all of the challenges in the official kind of like saga, the story of the game. And then after the story of the game is over, you can just kind of run around in the world and do things for the rest of the time. So there are people who have been on this game for like a year already. One guy whose channel I just really discovered like maybe a couple days ago, he's already beaten all of the game part of the game. And so people just, they decorate the little areas in the game because there's all this furniture and stuff you can win or find or make and all of this stuff. I'm just a little baby in this game, really. I haven't even opened up every single area because I don't have enough currency. There's like 3 different kinds of currency in this game. But yeah, so when I got on here, I was explaining to Ken how it's not cheating because you can do it. So this little area that I'm in, I'm not supposed to be where I am, basically.
I'm not supposed to be here.
I saw the little fox across the way, so let me see if I can find... Okay, so if you see like where that green area is...
That's where you're supposed to be?
That's where I started from. I have opened up part of this land, but I'm on the side of this land that is not yet available to me. So like you could say that I'm cheating, but it's not cheating because the game lets you do it. So, okay, as I was telling Ken, these giant ice shards here. So there's Elsa over there across the bridge. These giant ice shards are preventing me from getting across this bridge.
Oh, you can't jump over?
You cannot. Yeah, there's actually no jumping in this game.
Oh.
Yeah, you just walk and you run, and sometimes, like, you slide if you've got enough. Like, my little yellow bar here, that yellow bar up at the top, I can sprint. So, but sprinting looks like kind of like you're just surfing on the ground, like, with your feet. Let me put away my shovel. Okay, so I'm gonna sprint here. So, woo! woo, I'm sprinting. You can do that. But it uses, it lets you get places faster, basically. Okay. So whenever you get into a section, there's this wishing well. This wishing well is basically how you can fast travel from place to place. And so the trick is, since I don't yet have the power to bust up these giant ice shards, I can only bust up little ice shards right now, because that's I've gone through a little trial that allows me to bust up little ice shards. So I'll show you how. Where did I hide that little sucker? There was only one left because I was already busting them when I got on here to talk to Ted. There's just one little ice shard. There he is. Oh, there he is back there. You're gonna die.
Right.
Okay. So this is my pickaxe. So busting stuff up is one of the things that I like about Fortnite. I really don't like the murdering part, but I like the busting stuff up part. And you get to bust stuff up here. So I'm just gonna hit that, and bye, it's gone. So that's how you clear stuff. But to clear certain kind of things, you have to have like certain levels of like magic and ability on the pickaxe. And I don't have the ability to get rid of these giant ones. I can only get rid of little ones. So those giant ones are blocking that bridge. I can't cross that bridge, and where I'm supposed to be is on the other side of that bridge, where Elsa is. But there's this thing that they've got called like furniture mode, and that's how you place things, like, and decorate and do stuff like that in the game. So if you go into furniture mode to place things, let's go back. Oh man, my inventory is full already. This is
So
all
you
right.
picked up the things instead of busting them?
No, so there's also gathering. You gather materials and forage. So these little things on the ground, you want to pick those up because you can use them to create and craft items. Furniture mode is... So here's my inventory, which is full. This is your backpack. You have a backpack even if you're not wearing it. And you have to pay to open up additional lanes down in this backpack, and I don't really want to spend almost all of my coins.
What's the cost of the Founders
So the star
Pack?
coins are the coins. So I bought the Founders Pack just straight out. I think it was like $60 something dollars. But if you are on Xbox and you've got Xbox Gold Ultimate, then you can play it for free on Xbox Gold Ultimate. My husband plays the standard version of the game because he's got Xbox Gold, which is why I downloaded it on PC, because we already have like the game on Xbox. I could log in on my Xbox, credential and play on our Xbox if I wanted to. So I did the PC version so I can play while he's playing. Like, I'll be sitting next to him playing and watching him play on the Xbox, and eventually we're going to get we're probably going to get a Nintendo Switch, and then we'll get the game on that too, because this game you are able to do like cloud save, and so you can play your game across different platforms. Except for a PlayStation, you can play it on there, but none of your stuff that you buy on other platforms, they don't let it share. Like, Sony's weird that way, so it sucks for them, I guess. You can play, but like, say, if you bought the Founders version, alright, so up at the top, those coins and star coins, that's one kind of currency. Star coins, they're what you get when you sell stuff. They are what you spend when you buy items like furniture and things like that. The stuff on the right at the top is called Dreamlight, which is the stuff that basically kind of runs all the magic stuff in the game, but that's also a currency that you can spend to unlock other sections in the game space. So, okay, if I go over here, if I want to expand my book bag and add another row, That's how much it costs.
Oh,
Yeah, that's almost all of my coins right now because I'm a baby player. Like, I have only been playing this game for like 3 weeks. So I don't want to spend almost all of my coins to get another like set of slots in my backpack. So what I would probably just end up doing is I go and I dump all my stuff off places in storage. That's how you get more space here because you've got other space other places. But anyway, along the left side here, so this is my inventory because that's what's in my backpack. This is wardrobe. So there's all this stuff that you get. Like, you've got different clothing and things like that. So I found or bought or won all of the stuff that I'm wearing right now. But when you go down further, you see furniture. So when you go into furniture mode, see how it flipped up? You can hit this Y button, and to see a little bit better, like, where are we? Like, you can zoom in or you can zoom out. So I like to zoom out, and this is how people cheat. It's not cheating because you can do it. So let's see where we are. So obviously, like I told
I'm
you,
just saying,
I'm
you
on
sound a
the
lot like Donald
side
Trump right now.
of-
That's all I'm saying.
I'm on the side of the bridge that I really shouldn't be able to access. And you see how, like, there's a whole other side over here. Like, this is the side of the bridge that I can access from the green area. Like, that's how I got here. It's hard for us to see it right now because there's a blizzard coming. It's part
thanks,
of what's
Elsa.
happening. Yeah, it's not her fault though, actually. But her magic is not. It's not quite, up to snuff with this. So here's what you do. You can move you can't move stuff that's blocking stuff. That stuff doesn't move. But literally everything else is like furniture. You can just move it around, like by, you hover over it and it gets to move. You can do that, stuff like that. And so the trick is, when you don't yet have access to something, you pick up that wishing well that is a fast travel, and you just scooch it where you want it to be. So I moved it from over here on this side to over here on this side, and I set it down. And that is how I was able to get onto this side past that bridge, because I hit my little button, and here's the map. So here we are in the Frosted Heights. See where this is all turning frosty now? This was not the Frosted Heights. This only is the Frosted Heights, and there's a little bridge that is kind of within that area that's not really showing up as kind of... Wait, no, that is all the Frosted Heights. This is the part of the Frosted Heights that I just opened. So there's the bridge we looked at that I couldn't get over. This is the bridge down into the forest where I've been for a long time. Like, so this is just the map view. Like, so if you look, there's little wishing wells everywhere, because that's how you get from place to place really quickly without having to run around or, do that weird little glide that I showed you. So you can just fast travel to get places. So you then just fast travel and you go to where that little wishing well is, and now you're on the other side of the bridge you can't get across. So that's what I was doing right when I hopped on with Ken. But I'm a baby player, so again, like, there are people who have tricked out like everything. They've got like all the designing and stuff. So Christoph will come with me because we're hanging out right now. You literally tell somebody, hey, let's hang out, if they're at least level 2, and they'll be like, okay. So this is back where we kind of originally started. My house is janky. It still needs upgrades. I've only upgraded it like twice. But we're going in here because my book bag is full and I need to get rid of stuff.
Okay, all right. So it's clear that Kristen can play this game for hours, and she has a little bit of an addiction problem. So we're going to say that she'd probably recommend this to people. So, Kristen, if you were, because we're at time pretty much, but Kristen, if you had to tell people you should play this game because, how would you finish that sentence?
You should play this game because you are a person who loves Disney and also are a person who loves cute things and collecting things. That's why I would play the game if I were a person such as that, because I'm not a big gamer and I love this game. There are all kinds of things that you can end up getting in the game. That are just really cool that everybody wants. Like right now we're on this thing called a star path, and a star path is where it's a special time where you have to kind of go through a bunch of different like tasks and things, and you win yet another type of currency that you can use to get cool special stuff. So like I have a Jack Skellington outfit now because I got enough of the little candy pops in this little thing to buy that little outfit. I have a little replica building of the Haunted Mansion from Disneyland when it's Haunted Mansion holiday version. There are people who have been playing this game for like a year and they have Mickey's Death Wheel, which,
Oh.
yeah.
I was like, Death Wheel. I was like, oh, yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah, they've got and it's actually literally like Mickey's Death Wheel. Like it's not the Pixar Pal Around. It's the version that has the little Mickey face on it. Yeah.
Ooh.
So I'm hoping that comes back because I want it, and I don't have it. So there's all kinds of stuff like that that's going. Right now, everybody is waiting because they have a version of the Tower of Terror that is gonna be dropping here like pretty quick. They had some issues with it, I think.
It's gonna be dropping quick. I see what you did there.
Yeah, like, there's all kinds of stuff.
Can you like with the Tower of Terror and the Haunted Mansion and stuff, can you ride those, or is it just like the building?
It depends on what kind of a thing it is. So there are some things that are skins where you can literally dress up your house as the place. And then there are other things that are replicas that you can place like furniture, but they're interactive a little bit. So like you can click a button and the Haunted Mansion holiday will decorate with little pumpkins.
Oh, cute.
Yeah, but yeah, you mostly sort of like I don't think you can get on people's Death Wheel. I've never seen anybody do a gameplay where they were on there, so I'm assuming that it's just like a little replica. I'm hoping that it moves, but because the people who have one have been playing the game for so long, it's like boring and old hat to them. So they're not doing anything with it anymore. Yeah.
It'd be cool if you could like
this is
trade
so cool
with people. Like you could trade like if you're not a baby, you're like a teenager or whatever. You could trade stuff with people. Give me more coins, or I guess that'd be buying.
They haven't done that yet, but they will in the future. There will be trades where you can like make friends with people and give them stuff in like some future version of it. They haven't. It is set up where you can do that in the future, but it's not set up where any of us can do it right now. But the infrastructure for that is there for sure.
All right. Well, Kristen, thanks so much for taking us around Dreamlight Valley. I'll let you get back to your addiction. This was your 1 hour like takeaway from your addiction. So, go ahead and tap it back up and, do all the stuff that you need to do. Yeah. Also, I will just say this. If you are wanting to start a podcast or something, blah, 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 know that your first couple episodes are going to be terrible. You're going to look back eventually and say the first couple episodes were terrible. So I look back on my first couple episodes as a podcaster and say, wow, those were terrible. And I'm looking back at some of these video ones and realizing I had not plugged in like my internet that I plug in for this show that keeps my bandwidth going at a certain rate.
Oh.
And so this is probably like why I've been having trouble this entire time. So
That makes sense. Like
look back and I'm like, this episode's gonna be terrible. And I'm okay with that because we're all learning. We're learning and just we're growing. So
it's gonna be
there we
great.
go. Yeah. So it's gonna be terrible. All right. Just start. Okay. Just start. Your voice is unique. You need to do it. Okay. Kristen, Cameron, thanks so much for coming on the show. I appreciate it.
Thanks a lot, guys.
Love doing it.
And I love having you on, Kristen, Cameron. Yeah. Nah, Cameron, I love having you on too. And I love that you have joined us for this conversation. Thanks so much. We'll be back and see you when there's more Disney stuff to talk about. Until then, have a magical day.